Welcome back, Waynesider fans, to a story that's left the wrestling world in stunned silence. Tonight, we peel back the curtain on a moment so raw, so devastating, that it's brought tears to the toughest faces backstage. Triple H's emotional WWE decision has shaken the foundations of the company, and we're diving deep into the heartbreak, the power struggles, and the silent resentment that led to this breaking point. Settle in, because this is a tale of loyalty tested, trust shattered, and a family legacy hanging in the balance. The story begins with Paul Levesque, the man we know as Triple H, who's worn many hats in WWE, King of Kings, creative genius. For years, he's been the steady hand guiding WWE through turbulent waters, from Vince McMahon's controversies to the rise of new stars. But beneath the polished suits and calculated decisions, there's been a growing weight on his shoulders. The pressure to balance corporate demands with the passion of the locker room has worn him down, and those closest to him say he's been quieter lately, carrying a burden no one fully understood. Backstage, the air has been thick with tension for months. Wrestlers whisper about a rift between Triple H and the old guard, those loyal to the McMahon era. The shift from Vince's iron grip to Triple H's vision of a modern WWE hasn't been smooth. Veterans like Randy Orton and Kevin Owens have clashed with younger stars like Braun Breaker, each side vying for influence in a company reshaping itself. Triple H, caught in the middle, has tried to be the peacemaker, but every decision he's made has sparked silent resentment among those who feel left behind. Please like, share and subscribe for more WWE content. The Anoa'i family, a cornerstone of WWE's history, has been particularly vocal. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, has been a linchpin in Triple H's creative plans, but not everyone in the bloodline agrees with his direction. The Usos, Jimmy and Jay, have hinted at frustration over their storylines, feeling sidelined in favor of Roman's dominance. Solo Sikoa, the enforcer, has kept his thoughts close, but his piercing stares at production meetings speak volumes. The family's pride in their legacy runs deep, and any perceived slight cuts like a knife. Triple H's role as a family man has only complicated things. Married to Stephanie McMahon, he's not just a decision-maker but a guardian of the McMahon dynasty. Their children, raised in the shadow of WWE, are starting to understand the business's toll. Stephanie, once a powerhouse in her own right, has stepped back, but her influence lingers in every boardroom discussion. Insiders say she's been Triple H's anchor, but even she's struggled to bridge the gap between his corporate duties and the locker room's raw emotion. The pressure built slowly, like a storm gathering on the horizon. Triple H poured his heart into NXT, nurturing talents like Finn Balor and Becky Lynch, only to see them clash with main roster politics. He fought for creative control, believing he could honor the wrestling he loved while steering WWE into a new era. But every choice, pushing Cody Rhodes, elevating LA Knight, stirred resentment among those who felt overlooked. The whispers grew louder. Was Triple H playing favorites, or was he just trying to survive a thankless job? The emotional toll was evident in his eyes. At a recent SmackDown taping, a crew member noticed Triple H lingering by the gorilla position, staring at the ring long after the show ended. He wasn't the brash game of old, but a man wrestling with doubt. Colleagues say he's been haunted by the fear of failing the talent who trust him, the fans who chant his name, and the family he's vowed to protect. That vulnerability, rare for a man of his stature, set the stage for what was to come. Halfway through this saga, the storm broke. It was a late-night production meeting, the kind where exhaustion frays tempers. Triple H, flanked by writers and executives, was finalizing plans for WrestleMania when the attack came, not physical, but verbal, and just as brutal. A high-ranking official, said to be a longtime McMahon loyalist, unleashed a tirade, accusing Triple H of dismantling Vince's legacy. The words were venomous, personal, questioning his loyalty to the company and the family he married into. The room fell silent, all eyes on Triple H. He stood there, motionless, as the accusations landed. Those present say it was like watching a king dethroned. The official didn't stop, dragging Stephanie's name into the fray, implying Triple H was using her legacy for power. It was a betrayal of the deepest kind, not just of Triple H's leadership but of the trust he'd built over decades. One writer, shaken, recalled Triple H's hands trembling as he gripped the table, his face a mask of restrained fury and pain. The aftermath was chaos. Word of the confrontation spread like wildfire, reaching the locker room before the meeting even ended. Wrestlers who'd clashed with Triple H's decisions, stars like Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, were stunned into solidarity. Rollins, who's had his own battles with management, reportedly cornered the official later, his voice low but seething. The sense of betrayal wasn't just personal, it was a wound to the entire WWE family, who saw Triple H as one of their own. Tears flowed backstage that night. A young talent, barely a year into their contract, broke down in catering, saying Triple H had been the one to give them a chance. Veterans like Natalya, who've known him for decades, were seen consoling each other, their loyalty to the game unwavering. Even Roman Reigns, usually stoic, sent a text to Triple H that simply read, "We got you, Use." The bloodline, despite their frustrations, closed ranks around the man who'd elevated their story. The decision that followed was Triple H's alone, and it's what's left the WWE Universe reeling. Sources say he walked into a closed-door meeting with key stakeholders and laid down an ultimatum: stand with his vision or let him walk. The details are murky, but the outcome was clear. Triple H stepped back from certain creative duties, handing them to a trusted ally while he focuses on his health and family. It wasn't a resignation, but a gut-wrenching choice to protect what matters most, even if it meant loosening his grip on the empire he helped build. The news hit the locker room like a sledgehammer. Becky Lynch, who credits Triple H for her rise, was reportedly inconsolable, her fiery spirit dimmed by the thought of losing his guidance. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, spoke at a press event with a lump in his throat, calling Triple H the heart of WWE's new era. The younger talent, like Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley, took to social media, posting tributes that hinted at their fear of a WWE without his steady hand. Backstage whispers paint a picture of a fractured company. Some say the attack on Triple H was orchestrated by those who want to revert to the old McMahon playbook, a power grab cloaked in nostalgia. Others believe it was personal, a vendetta from someone who felt slighted by Triple H's rise. The truth may never surface, but the damage is done. Trust, once the glue of WWE's inner circle, lies in tatters, replaced by suspicion and whispered alliances. The Anoa'i family's legacy, intertwined with WWE's history, feels the ripple effects. Roman, Jimmy, Jay, and Solo have been vocal about their pride in representing their bloodline, but this betrayal has them questioning who they can trust. Insiders say the family is rallying around Triple H, seeing his fight as their own. The bloodline storyline, a cultural phenomenon, now carries a heavier weight, mirroring the real-life struggle to protect their place in a changing WWE. Stephanie McMahon's silence speaks volumes. Those close to her say she's devastated, not just for her husband but for the company her family built. The McMahon name, once synonymous with WWE, now feels like a battleground. Stephanie's absence from public view has sparked rumors of her own disillusionment, a woman torn between her love for her husband and the legacy her father left behind. Their children, still young, are shielded from the worst, but the tension at home is undeniable. The emotional aftermath is still unfolding. Wrestlers are reevaluating their own loyalties, some quietly reaching out to Triple H to offer support, others distancing themselves to avoid the crossfire. The crew, often the unsung heroes, have been hit hard. Many saw Triple H as their advocate, the one who fought for better conditions. One stagehand shared a story of Triple H staying late to help load equipment, a small act that spoke to his character. Losing that feels like losing a piece of WWE's soul. The fans, too, are part of this story. Social media is ablaze with #StandWith, a movement born from the same passion that fuels every chant in the arena. At a recent Raw, a "Thank you, Hunter" chant broke out, unscripted, echoing through the stands. Fans aren't just mourning a creative shift, they're grieving for a man who's given his life to wrestling, only to be wounded by those he trusted. It's a reminder that the WWE Universe is more than a fanbase, it's a community bound by shared love and loss. What does this mean for WWE's future? The company stands at a crossroads, with Triple H's vision, built on storytelling, diversity, and heart, hanging in the balance.